What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are finally going to be checking out Miley's new album, Endless Summer Vacation. I feel like this is one of those albums that has a lot of hype behind it. Miley came out swinging with Flowers, and I feel like because of that track and the success of it, got a lot of hopes going into this album. I'm really looking forward to this for a few reasons. One, I love checking out Miley's music. I feel like she's been through a lot of eras in her career, and yet she continues to just like bring something fresh every time. She just has such an incredible voice, and I'm just really looking forward to kind of going through this journey of Endless Summer Vacation with her. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to plug my Patreon. I do this album as a full uncut album listening party over on Patreon, so the link is in the description if you want to check that out. I don't cut anything out. We just jam the entire thing, and yeah, people tend to really like that. I have a lot of videos over there that are exclusive to Patreon. YouTube will get like a version of the album video. It's usually significantly shorter, but if you're interested in checking out the full album with me, again, the link is in the description. It means the world to me. But with all those things out of the way, I'm stoked to dive into this. I just want to say that Flowers and Flowers demo, I've listened to both of those, so we're not going to do those on here. I have a full video for Flowers, from when it dropped. So we're just going to start with the track Jaded. I don't wanna go and talk too long. Oh. Know it was wrong, but never said I was sorry. Her voice is so fucking good. Hey, I'm sorry that you're jaded. Oh, you are, and I'm left in the dark till I'm worried. It hurts me. Oh, that harmony right there? Fuck. Oh, fuck. I love that it seems like with every era right now with Miley, we are getting more and more maturity in the vocal approach. Like, what I'm hearing here is just like so much more, like, she explored a lot in her voice when it came to Plastic Hearts, and that album's incredible. Like, so fucking good. But in that album, she experienced and worked on a lot of these vocal moments, right? So like when you're getting into this album, you hear that vocal maturity. It's just incredible. There's some there's a handful of harmonies that are layered in here that are so good. She brings that rasp, which she's just so fucking good at. It's like such a unique vocal experience. I'm such a fan of it. I feel like lyrically this song is kind of that moment of understanding that whatever happened that caused this relationship to end, and all of the negativity, obviously this person is jaded. There's like a lot of anger and frustration at the same time. Like, let's be real, we are fully aware that this relationship did not end on great terms, right? And Miley's like, I'm sorry that you are jaded, because I could have literally like taken you anywhere. We could have, ruled the world together. And at the same time, we were in this relationship and we were going through the fire. We were going through the hard times that people go through, but we didn't make it back. Like when people say like, oh, we're so close, we've been to hell and back. The idea being we've been to the worst of the worst, and we were able to like rise above that. And I feel like in this situation, Miley is just like pretty much like addressing the fact that when times were tough, when things got hard, this is how it ended. And you can just hear that emotion built up so much from her. Such a good way to like come right off of Flowers. So the next track is Rose Colored Lenses.
Stay like this forever in rose-colored lenses. Let's just pretend wearing rose-colored lenses.
I love that sort of psychedelic feel in that instrumental, especially like going into that fade out. Again, definitely like reminds me of like 60s and 70s like classic rock, which I feel like a lot of modern pop is doing. I think for a while we were doing this, like almost every pop song was like a dance track, and then it just goes in waves like that. It's always going to be changing. But I feel like with like the last couple of years, you know, we've got like the Harry Styles who like, you know, blends a lot of Fleetwood Mac and stuff, and you can hear Miley kind of using a little bit of that in the instrumental here. Again, I definitely feel like these tracks are going to stand really well for these vocal moments. I mean, this is a really great vocal performance from her. I also like the meaning of the lyrics here. Like, I'm a big fan of the idea of, you know, living in this sort of endless summer vacation where everything is just great and you don't have to face the realities of what's really going on with like your friendships, what's really going on with like your life. But at the same time, that can be like a very big negative as well. I'm like kind of into the California sort of sound. Like I'm kind of into these instrumentals are a little bit more chill. Coming off of a rock album like Plastic Hearts, I didn't really know what to expect, but I'm kind of here for it right now. This next track is 1,000 Miles featuring Brandi Carlile. Hell yeah. Oh, fuck. Damn. She has those little vocal moments like that, like this little vibrato thing she does. I'm so here for it. Oh, that drum signature is so weird. What? Is this harmonica moment? That was a really odd thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Well, I know how I feel about those parts. The track as a whole, I enjoy the fact that Miley and Brandi singing together really has like kind of like a big impact because their harmonies work really well. I just feel like, I don't know if it was because of the weird harmonica that I think was placed as an afterthought to make the song longer. I don't know what it is, but it kind of like takes away from the rest of the track. So like, I don't really know how I feel about this one. On first listen, I don't know. I do like the lyrics behind the fact that like we do this amazing thing as humans where we tend to just like forgive way more than we should, because it's almost like you see someone else that you love, you see someone that you care a lot about, and they do something horrible to you or something wrong. But like, as humans, we just find ourselves like pulled back into that person, and we forget all these bad things until they happen again. It's the vicious cycle. So if you ever wonder why people are like in these horrible relationships and they get treated like shit, but they can't leave, that's part of it. I've been there. I'm sure many of you have as well. That's part of it. Is like, the pain of not being with that person hurts. And so you'd rather just, you know, continue to get treated like shit. Don't do that. I learned my lesson. All right, this is You.
Kicked out of bars before too, but only if it's with you.
Okay, she's trying to raise hell, but only with a specific somebody. Oh my God. This is what I showed up for. This is what I came to this album for. She is bringing just so much attitude. It's got this like, at the beginning, it almost sounded like a track that The Weeknd would be doing, and then we hit this little more of a southern sound, and Miley is talking her shit here. She's ready to get reckless, drive down to Texas to flip off them exes, gonna have some sexes. She's bringing that attitude and bringing it in such a passionate way, and like, you get that yeehaw Miley coming back out from the woodwork, and I am a huge fan of that. Let's go, Miley. Oh yeah, she fucking delivers right here. Let's fucking go. That's what I showed up for. That is Miley doing her fucking thing in the best way. There's just, it's this really great mix of being honest about your situation, honest about yourself, kind of being reflective over the things that you're going through in life, but at the same time, addressing the fact that you have found somebody that you are just willing to do anything with, like go on these crazy adventures, be wild. like experience life in that beautiful way, but you're only going to do those things with this one person. There's so much beauty to that. You get to be yourself around someone that you fucking love. She absolutely crushes it in this track. Fuck. Just on one listen, hearing her just like show up and deliver note after note in this and just like continue to like raise the bar vocally throughout the entire track. This is definitely the best song. I mean, I like this song more than Flowers. Like, this is just a banger. All right, next track is Handstand.
We met each other on the neon dinghy, coming toward us, kicking up with laughter. Just me and Twitchy, because that's all we knew.
Okay, I know what she was trying to do in the beginning there. It kind of fell a little flat for me. I hate saying that. I love Miley. But that was weird. Like, it works when certain... I don't know if it's because she, like, the way that she tried to speak it didn't really have any flow. There's definitely something about that delivery almost feels kind of forced. I don't know what this is. I do like this. Oh, hell yeah. There's a couple moments I did like I'm not like saying the song is awful. Like, I do feel like whenever that first set of like vocals after the handstand part 1, they were really great vocal runs. There was layered vocals there. It was really beautiful. The instrumentation on this is all over the place. It's just not for me. This is just, kind of odd. I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words here because this is not really, I don't know what's going on. It's got to be so hard when you put out a song like Flowers and like the whole fucking world is going to be all eyes on your album. And yeah, so I get it, you know. I don't know. This next track is called River.
Walk me through the park just to show it all. I can pull my hair back in the tight way that you like. If you wrap me in, you're just like a river.
See, this works so well.
You're just like a river. You're just like a river.
I'm gonna learn these lyrics, alright?
You're just like a river.
Okay, well, almost. Man, I fucking hate being critical because I love Miley, but like, I also have to be honest. You're just like a river, that's what you are. I know what Miley is capable of. And it's more than you're just like a river. That's what you are. Okay, so I am a big fan of the production. I think that the instrumentation works very well in this. I don't know if this is a single. It does have the second most streams besides Flowers, but I'm a fan of all of those pieces. I think Miley sounds great. The only thing to me was like some of the lyricism was kind of weird. And like I said, like, I'm not trying to be harsh because that's really not who I am at all. Like, I don't, like, this is really odd for me. I think you guys can probably tell. I don't usually listen to something and I'm like, oh my God, no. But like, there's a couple parts to this album so far that are kind of like, no. And then with River, like, it's a banger, but also like, I'm okay with simple lyrics, but like, I know that Miley is so much better than you're just like a river, that's what you are. Fuck. All right, Violet Chemistry. Fuck yes. I love a fucking back vocal like that. God damn. this could definitely be like the next single. Like, absolutely has all the makings of a really great like dance and pop track. That is going to be the next single. If it's not, it should be. It's a sin if it's not, because it's all the makings of something that's going to push this album further. We've got this track that Miley shows up vocally for, and it's incredible. The instrumental, the production on it is done very well. It mixes that dance club sound with Miley's take on pop music, which I feel like is pretty fucking good. It's always been great. So like, you can have those instrumental choices that have like, you know, the backing vocals and all these like pieces to it and have the little upbeat kind of vibe. It works. So I know that she can do it. You can hear it so well here. And again, like it's basically like a song about like hooking up, and it's not just like just to have sex. It's like, wow, I have at least some sort of a connection with you. Let's explore that. Yeah, I really hope that this gets more love. It's I'm just looking at the streams over here on the side. This album just came out, right? It's just so crazy because like Flowers has 679 million plays, but like these others, none of them have broken double-digit million, which is like so crazy to even say, but like that's just kind of where we're at. River's almost there, so that must be a single right now. It's 9.7 million. I really hope that Violet Chemistry gets there because I'm a fan of that on first listen. Okay, this next track is Muddy Feet featuring Sia. I gotta tell you, I fucking love Sia's voice. I think she's one of the best singers that have ever existed. I thought people didn't like her. I remember something. It was 2020 though. A lot of people didn't really like anybody. But yeah, let's do it. Muddy Feet.
With that shit. And you smell like perfume that I didn't purchase. Now I know why you've been closing the curtains on.
Fuck.
Get the fuck out of.
So at first I was going to be like, okay, I don't know what's going on lyrically. I'm so in love with the attitude though, because as soon as you get to that part, you smell like perfume that I didn't purchase. Boy, you are over here living off of me, and you have the audacity to show up to my house and you smell like some shit that I definitely did not buy you, because I'm buying it for you. I'm supplying you.
Get the fuck out of my head with that shit.
Holy shit, this is sick.
With that shit. You watered the weeds and you killed all the roses. Worthy arrives when the other door closes.
Oh my god. Where the fuck has this been? What? This is so sick. Okay, so there's kind of a decent amount of things to talk about. First off, this song is entirely too short. I actually feel like because the song is so short, maybe lyrically it's not all that strong when it comes to the verses. However, I feel like that whole section of her just kind of like talking that shit, this song could have been 4 minutes. I feel like I could have had that for, you know, 1 or 2 intros to verses, and then her going off, and then having like the choruses, which are so fucking good. Like they're so strong. Have a couple more of those, but incorporate more of that instrumental that's in the back with Sia at the end. I just feel like that is such an incredible moment right there. And it is entirely too short, because this song is like, look, Miley lived this, okay? And I think that having, you know, firsthand experience in these pieces, you really like hear that anger. Like you hear it. It's like, yeah, you're coming home and you smell like perfume that I didn't buy. And if you keep coming home with those muddy feet, I'm going to have to do something about it. And it's almost, well, I'm going to have to do something about it. I'm going to do something about it. But when you hear that, yeah, maybe you're just listening to it lyrically and you're like, okay. But like when you really think about where she's been, and then you hear that fucking vocal moment / instrumental that drops with Sia at the end, this becomes an entirely different thing. So I wish this song was so much longer, because I'm so fucking hyped on that instrumental drop. Okay, wild card.
Break your heart, but don't forget, baby, I'm a wild card.
Oh fuck.
I love when you hold me. I
Oh my god. Dude, she has one of the best voices in music. God damn. That shit right there, that's how you do it. That's how you take that vocal, backing vocal, and make it a fucking instrument. That's how you do it right there. Again, this song has no business being this good and having to be on the same album as fucking Handstand. And I say that because this is incredible. This is so strong. You hear all of those parts of Miley that are just like the most like chaotic beauty. And again, coming from that emotional piece of the idea that you're the wild card, like no matter how much love you're giving this person, at the end of the day, that's not going to be enough to make them want to be loyal, to be with you forever. It's just like you can be plugged in place anytime they can't get their need from some other spot at that time. So you're kind of like sent to be the stand-in for all of these things while someone lives this double life. And the vocal delivery through this is incredible. It's everything that I love. The passion is so real. The instrumentation is done perfect because you can have this ballad that also has these elements of, you know, various like pop instrumentation, getting a chance to sample her vocal from the chorus and turning that into an instrumental. One of my favorite things to hear when it's done right. So many beautiful pieces, hands down. This is what I'm saying right here. You got banger, like amazing tracks like this. And I don't want them to be overshadowed. I haven't heard anybody talk about this album, good or bad. It is Tuesday. This album's been out, and I haven't heard anybody talking about it. That's strange to me. And I'm hearing these just like fucking banger tracks, and I'm maybe worried that some people didn't give enough of a chance to it. They just like found a couple songs they didn't like, and they just wrote the album off. This is why you gotta listen to every track, because there's obviously some songs on here I'm not digging, but god damn, when I like them, I fucking like them. All right, this is Island.
Yeah, I've got treasures buried underneath the sand. Island, have I landed in paradise? Am I stranded? Here is you and our TV, and I won't lie.
I do love the idea of all of the issues that you've got going on in your life, kind of finding this escape and getting away from all of it and being able to just spend that time truly to yourself.
On an island, have I landed in paradise? Landed in paradise. Am I stranded?
Oh. Love those loop back vocals right there. Water sounds for the effect. I will say that despite the fact that I wanted that to drop a little harder in the chorus, I love the fact that I really felt like I was on an island for a moment, like felt like I was on the beach. I think it's important when artists are able to do that. They can really like move you to that location. They can teleport you, and you feel like just for that moment you have that escape. And I kind of like love the idea of what she's saying here, of like all this bullshit that happened, and like all of these like just troubles and daily anxieties and all the shit that I kind of like focus life on. Maybe I just take a step back and go find somewhere to find peace and give myself a chance to like be with myself and my thoughts and how I feel about everything. And, you know, it kind of felt like in that song, we kind of spent that moment with her. Which is really incredible. I'm a really big fan of the moment there towards the end where the chorus came looped back with sort of that like bridge moment. I think it really created something amazing. I would have been totally cool with that being kind of like the structure for all of the choruses, because I think the chorus is just missing a little bit of something like, but at the same time, I say that I also feel like it kind of brought the right vibe for disappearing on an island. So, yeah. Otherwise, you know, I don't really know like a lot about Miley's life and what she deals with. This relationship thing came out, and obviously like that was like big news. Everybody's talking about it. And I can definitely hear through this, like, despite what the reviews of this album end up being, despite what people think of it, this really is Miley exploring all the emotions that she's dealing with in this moment in regards to everything that has kind of happened in her life recently. And I think that, you know, you always have to remember that, like, it's okay to like things and not like things and have opinions on how things should have been. But at the same time, you know, sometimes you also have to remember that, like, some people are just doing their own soul searching on an album too. And that's also important. Okay. The last track we're listening to is Wonder Woman.
Oh, she's broken, 'cause she's always fine.
You never know that she's broken because she's always fine. You know, so just kind of the idea of looking like you have strength on the outside when inside you're struggling with the things that are going on in your life. It can be very hard, but at the same time, like, that takes a lot of strength to be able to do as well.
She makes sure that no one's around to see it fall apart. She wants to be the one. Rain is falling.
God damn. Miley's voice is just, when she's on, she's fucking on.
The woman, she knows what she likes.
That had to be so, you know, I feel like with a lot of music, especially like studio music, there's a lot of takes, right? There's a lot of chances to kind of like change things up, you know, do different production on the vocals and stuff. This definitely felt like a live take. You could really hear the emotion built up. There's one moment, I know I played it back, but I'm pretty sure her voice literally cracked from like just a level of emotion, like almost like she was tearing up as she was singing this. That kind of emotion is truly so special in music. I feel like it is just like underrated so much. So her closing out with this song, I think, is really beautiful because it also shows sort of this, and I don't know if she was speaking about somebody in particular or if she was singing maybe about herself, maybe about her mother. But what I kind of see in this is this idea that you see somebody who, you know, people look up to and people think like, oh man, they're so strong, they can get through anything. But it's only because you don't really know what's going on the inside. And there does come times when that emotion just like builds up and then just spills out. And it takes a lot of strength to be able to hold it together as much as you can. While I think it's super important to fucking like air your grievances, at the same time, you do sometimes, you know, try to hold it together. Like, and the strongest people can do that for a while, but then it all kind of catches up with you, which it kind of sounds like that happens in this song numerous times. So let's talk about this album. I want to get the negative out of the way because I don't normally have sort of this negative of a look on certain things. And maybe like it's not as negative as I think it is. I just don't usually have these sorts of kind of reactions or feelings towards some of the songs I listen to. However, the songs I didn't like on this album, it was like a very clear dislike. It was like the instrumentation didn't make sense. The production wasn't great. The lyrics weren't very strong. And the reason that it matters is because like Miley's so great. And this album is kind of a big deal when you kick it off with a track like Flowers, really putting out all the emotion that you've been dealing with and things that have been going on behind the scenes and kind of addressing those pieces. That's a lot of important stuff. So like, there may be a lot of meaning behind the song Handstand that I don't know, but like, I can't even imagine why that is on this album. Yeah. So I don't want to harp on the things I don't like, but there's a handful of songs that I just wasn't feeling right off the bat. So let's just move on with that, which is to the positives, which this album has a lot. I'm surprised that I haven't seen people talking about this album, good or bad, because, like, for example, when I say that, let's see, this album came out Thursday night. I didn't have anybody request for me to react to this album until 3 seconds after I posted that I was going to do it. Somebody happened to tweet at the same time, and that was last night. I've never experienced that with a new release, especially with somebody as big as Miley. So that was really odd for me. And that kind of like made me like, well, what are people thinking? So having said that, the positives on this album are really great. There are moments like Wild Card, for example. Holy shit. Muddy Feet, which it just needed to be a little bit longer, but that is an absolute banger. Somebody's gonna fucking do a remix and make the song 4 minutes, and it's gonna be fucking great. River, again, total fucking banger. I didn't love the lyricism at the end. I think you guys know that, but all in all, like, that is an absolute amazing track. I love You so much. I just feel like that album has such a fucking like strong sort of like mix of my favorite eras of Miley coming to life. And I just feel like you have a song like Wonder Woman at the end where you're getting this like emotional ballad, and I don't want either like the fact that there hasn't been like a lot of, at least like, you know, for me, and let's just be real, like Elon Musk made Twitter where like all I see is tweets from people I don't even know at this point. But like the fact that I haven't seen a lot of that traction, like I don't want that to be that people aren't promoting this, and I don't want it to be that people aren't like stoked on a lot of these songs. And I think that what happens is if, you know, a handful of people start like slamming an album, then before you know it, people won't even give it a chance. You got to remember, Miley's going through a lot of emotions in this album. So because of that, there's going to be songs that maybe seem outlandish, but like in her mind, it might have been exactly what she needed for that moment to work on that. I don't have to like it because it's not my relationship. It is not my sort of like life, you know, pattern that I'm going through. It's Miley's. I'm just stoked to get to, you know, be here and listen to it. I don't have to like it. But there are bangers on this album, and I really hope that a song like Violet Chemistry ends up being a single. It deserves that single praise. I hope that this song continues to get, or this song and this album continue to get more and more traction, because it absolutely deserves it. On first listen, is it my favorite Miley album? I haven't done her entire discography, but I definitely enjoyed Plastic Hearts more. Having said that, there's some of the songs that are on here, once I go back and listen to them a bunch of times, like I always do, I think this will grow on me a lot more. And you know what? When you don't like a song, it's so cool because there's just this, you just skip it, right? You don't have to listen to songs that you don't like. And you can also make a playlist, and you can, you know, set this album up so that it makes more sense with the track listings and what songs are on here and what songs are not. But at the end of the day, this album is by Miley, for Miley. We get to enjoy it, and I'm here for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out Patreon to see the full uncut album reaction, see my reaction to all the songs in full. I don't really cut anything out of those. So if you want to check that out, the link's in the description. I think I also have Plastic Hearts on there as a full uncut album reaction if you want to see how I felt about that album, to know that I am absolutely a lover of Miley. It's there. If you guys like the video, make sure to like the video. At least let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on maybe some of the songs I didn't like, as well as what your favorite songs are on this. Let's give a little bit of hype to Miley and love on this album. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.